Ready? All right, it is beautiful November 18th, 2025 at 6:30. Do I have mentioned all? Accept the agenda moved by Saracen, second by Nico, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. The Scituate Select Board is committed to providing environmental respect during our meetings. We ask all members to interact in a polite manner, even when there's disagreement. We value the participation of our community. Want everyone, including marginalized and minoritized communities, to feel welcome and respected. We ask our community members and everyone who participates to commit to these standards to support and respect our community. Before we do walk-ins, we have a very special and what a great number too, 30 presentation. So Chief, come on up.
Thank you.
Service anniversary, 30 years.
Service anniversary.
Very good.
Come on. I mean, I didn't know where I was supposed to sit. Well, I mean, if I can embarrass you. You only been here 30 years.
You must have escaped it.
Really well. Well, good evening. Thank you, everybody. Did want to bring Sergeant Bates here for his 30 years of service, and this was, as I went through and started taking notes, I always kind of enjoyed this. In Kenny's for sure, it's one of those impressive things, and I have some personal things too, but I'll give you a little background for those of you who don't know. Ken Bates grew up here in Scituate, graduated from Archbishop Williams, got his bachelor's degree from Northeastern in 1988. You can correct me when I'm wrong with these things. Worked at the Norfolk County Sheriff for a couple of years, was a summer officer here in 1992, was hired here full-time in 1995, went to the Plymouth Police Academy, and then started his great career here with the Scituate Police Department in April of 2003.
Yeah, this is my good idea.
Well, then also got promoted to sergeant.
Oh, yes.
And has been assigned pretty much every shift as sergeant throughout the course of now his tenure as supervisor, and is now our senior sergeant at the department. In addition, he served in a number of roles, including firearms instructor, firearms licensing agent, shelter and emergency management coordinator, and member of the Marine unit. A couple of things there. So going through the file, it's great to go back and look at those things and all of the different thank yous, commendations from past chiefs, clergy, community members. There was even a letter in there from the Secret Service when Andrew Carr came down and had dinner. So it's just great to kind of go back and see the history of different things. But for Kenny, who grew up in town, but has also now been here for 30 years, has seen the highs and lows of the community, the triumphs, the tragedies, how many different nor'easters, snowstorms, blizzards, and it's just been such an incredible part of the community, and it probably touched probably some of your families and lives along the way as well. I think one of the things that's really great about Sergeant Bates, though, is that he's not somebody who sits in the back. He becomes part of the solution, and kind of steps up. But like, whether that's through union leadership or just understanding and just kind of always being there when you need somebody to count on somebody, he's the guy. He comes in and takes care of things. And I was thinking about that, saying like doing the right thing even when no one's watching. That's kind of integrity and character. So I told you there's no embarrassment. But so when I started in 2002, Kenny was on the day shift with me, and at that point was the leader without rank. He was the guy you turn to. He was your mentor. He was the guy who like, hey, I want to be like this guy. He's figured it out. He's doing things right. And if you had a question, you needed to know what to do, you'd ask now Sergeant Bates. So I thank you for all of that and mentorship all through the years. And I wanted to thank Lisa and Hannah, his wife and daughter, who were here tonight. Max is, I think, dealing with
At least in North Carolina.
In North Carolina with 1-year-old, but thank you for all of the birthdays, holidays, just events that have missed over the year that, from a family standpoint, you have to give the officer to come here and serve the community. So thank you for that over these 30 plus years. So excited to be here in honor, and thank you.
I appreciate all the nice things. It's been an honor to be kind of cool to be a cop in the town that you grew up in. And you have, he's another one. You give a lot of guys that grew up in the community and women. And it's a real honor to be a cop in the town that you grew up in. So thank you guys for taking a few minutes to say thank you to me. Appreciate it.
It's easily, I mean, it sounds trite, but availability is one of the greatest abilities. And to be doing something, but it's true. I mean, to always be there, to be that dependent, and have your family behind you, and be able to share it with us, with the community, is absolutely incredible. And all I can really say is to keep all of us safe for 30 years, day in and day out. It's an honor to have folks like you be able to be part of our community. So from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it. So open it up to also wants to.
I just want to say thank you for your service. When I grew up, I didn't grow up here, but when I grew up, I've always been a baseball fan. And I didn't look at the guys who would hit home runs. I looked at Cal Ripken because of the street. And I looked at the guy that showed up every single day, just did his job over and over again. And it really wasn't that sexy or cool or that interesting most days, but he was always there. And whenever somebody needed him, he was always there. When he needed to be a leader, all he had to do was just keep showing up, and people knew that they could trust him. And we're really, really lucky to have you be a part of our community for that long, be stabilizing part of the force, stabilizing force in our community. I can't thank you enough. We've been inside my house when we need help. I think you've probably been inside every house in Scituate at this point. So, I really appreciate you being part of the community and giving so much of your life. So I appreciate it.
I did grow up here, and if I ran from you in the woods, you never caught me.
Yeah. I wasn't running very fast.
But it's amazing to see 30 years here at Scituate. Congratulations, guys.
We're just, Mr. Sergeant Bates, we're so lucky to have you and the entire force in this town. We are really lucky. My encounters with you have always been extremely professional, thorough, and on time and detailed, and that I always appreciate, with a little sense of humor too. So congratulations on being with us for 30 years, and again, we're just so lucky to have you. So thank you very much.
You haven't gotten rid of me yet, so.
Well, maybe get another 30.
No, maybe not. I don't think we're getting that much.
There is a ceiling.
Again, thank you for your service. Again, you weren't running, I wasn't running from you in any woods, because I didn't grow up here, but again, I mean, you have been in most of our houses or, for me, it was the fire in my neighbor's yard, but, we appreciate everything you do. So you're around town all the time, we really appreciate it. So thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So we do have a small.
We do.
From the town. So I'm gonna present this to you, Sergeant. Congratulations.
Thank you. Chief, appreciate it. Thank you.
You got a picture with
You
the
got
boys?
a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get a picture.
Picture with all of us. Right?
I love it.
Where are we looking? What are we
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Good.
I didn't grow up here, Kenny, but you still might chase me at some point.
I only know you from the neighborhood.
And it's not too late to run it.
I know, I could run. I have a yellow card.
We'll get younger guys to say.
He's nothing faster than your slowest friend, that's all.
Yeah, oh my, alright.
He's gonna grab the first one he gets.
That is my truth.
Shots gotta get arrested.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, great to have. Although I want to leave enough.
All
right.
Take care.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, congratulations. Thank you.
I don't see any walk-ins, and I don't think we have, I know no Zoom-ins, I don't believe. So we will go to the Board of Town Administrator.
Good evening, thank you. We'll start with facts. Scituate Facts is hosting the Power of Prevention, a summit for adults caring for kids in Scituate. Learn about the latest science and skills in a one-day conference featuring experts
curated resources for families. This event is free, thanks to our sponsor, the Friends of Scituate Facts. Childcare and open gym are provided to Scituate Recreation. Sunday, December 7th, 1 to 3 p.m., Gates Middle School. This is open to all communities, but we do encourage all Scituate families to attend. The Mordecai Lincoln property online auction is now open. Online auction items for Mordecai Lincoln property are available on the Auctions International website. The link is on our webpage. There is a viewing on November 22nd from 10 to 2 for these items. This is the only viewing that will be available. The auction closes December 1st. All items must be paid for by December 8th. Items will be picked up available on Monday, December 9th and 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. only. DPW updates. In order to maintain compliance with federal MS4 stormwater permits, Scituate Department of Public Works has contracted with a firm to perform stormwater catchment investigations. Beginning this week and lasting for several weeks, stormwater investigations are expected to begin. Inspections will require access to stormwater structures, drain manholes, catch basins, which in many cases are located in the roadway. During this phase of investigation, crews will be focusing on several areas throughout town, including Captain Pierce Road, Countryway, Captain Daniel Litchfield Lane, Indian Trail, Lightship Lane, Hadley Road, Gannett Road, Henry Turner Bailey Road, Gannett Pasture Lane. For additional information, you can contact the Scituate Engineering Department, 781-545-8732. Contractors wrapped up his work at the end of Surfside Road on the seawall. They're mobilizing their equipment at the end of Gannett Road at Glades at the public access ramp. 4 parking spaces in the entrance will be fenced off for equipment. This work will consist of repairs to the embankment along the seawall to the north and some minor repairs to the south. We continue work on the Oceanside Drive seawall replacement project. Contractor is still working in the Old Forge neighborhood, connecting houses to the new water line. Good news for everybody, we've started construction on the Minot Beach parking lot. This project entails raising and expanding the current lot, then repaving and striping. Parking lot will be closed to use. Please use the on-street parking on Glades Road. As an aside for the chair, we've now sourced a new source of old fire hose that we found that we'll be putting in the overflow lot to mark those lines. That was Andrew's suggestion, worked out very well, so we'll be doing that in the spring. North Scituate Shore Expansion Project, the geotechnical borings continue along Countryway, Range Street, and a portion of Beaver Dam. The crews will be finishing up I-9 this week and next on Tilden Road, Scituate Ave, and Hadley Road. Finally, it's the holiday season. The Scituate Food Pantry is facing unprecedented demand. They appreciate so much the help of the Scituate residents, but they continue to need assistance. Most needed items going into the holiday: stuffing, box mashed potatoes, candy yams, cranberry juices, quick bread mixes, canned food cocktail, canned cream of chicken and mushroom soups, hot chocolate, flavored oatmeal, Jello, and Jello pudding kits. These can be dropped off at the food pantry during operating hours. The bins behind the old Gate School, Scituate Library, Village Market, and Shaw's also collect. This is what I have on site.
Questions, comments?
I do not have any.
Hopefully those bid results, and we get to tell that.
That'll be our next meeting. We had good results on our bids on our bonds today. We'll be making that announcement shortly, but the results were very good.
Excellent. All right, we're sharing good news. All right, with that, we will move ahead with some budget reviews. And just so folks know, again, we've read through these, we've gone through these. So we're kind of looking for the highlights of everything to make sure, and some questions. So we're gonna start with a right down this list. I think Athena is on Zoom. Yes. How are you?
Hello there. Thank you very much for having us present. So I am the treasurer of the Commission on Disabilities, and I am going to give you the report of what we did and what we plan to do next year with your generous funds. So we hosted the fifth accessibility awareness event back in October at the high school, and the Hingham and the Norwell Commissions on Disabilities co-sponsored it with us. Unfortunately, it was Scituate homecoming, so we didn't have the foot traffic that we had hoped, but we had a lot of people, and it also coincided with a big event in Boston that many people went to. But the people that came made some great connections. The the various providers were able to meet each other. So that it was a great event and people were very pleased with it. And we actually used a small portion of the handicap parking fines account to purchase water bottles for the PABA-free water bottles for the vendors and participants who came. And we had on those, we had the blue water bottles with white printing of awareness brings accessibility. So that's our motto or our mantra, if you will. And we used some of the funds to purchase a banner so that we can have at different events. And we had it, that was the first time we had it. And once again, it was blue with white writing, accessibility, awareness brings accessibility. So that was, I think, an exciting use of some funds. We plan to host a disability film forum at the Real Theater before June 2026. We got a grant from the SCF, Scituate. I'm sorry, I have to think of which one it is. We got a $600 grant to rent the theater, and we have to. It's in the planning process, but we will have some film that focuses on a disability. For example, either CODA, child of a deaf adult, or Peanut Butter Falcon. We're trying to decide on between those two. So we'll do that in 2026. We held elections and we elected Megan Summer as chairperson, Kara Paternik as vice chair. I am the treasurer, Dan Fogarty is the secretary. And we will have our second student intern by December of 2025. We had Clara Adams for 2 years. She's now in college at Gettysburg. And we used some of our money to thank her. We thanked her with the $45 gift card to a Scituate business to say thank you. So we purchased the banner. We assisted with several architectural reviews. We purchased 2 loops for the Scituate Town Library. The loop is a device that works to amplify sound for patrons who are hard of hearing. And one loop is for use at the library and one is for the Library of Things for people to borrow. We donated also to the Library of Things a blood pressure monitor, 2 sound amplifiers, and a pack of 2-inch grabbers. They had asked for that. We upgraded our PA system and we established a Champion of Inclusion and Accessibility Award, the first of its kind. And as you all know, we presented this award, the inaugural award, to Nancy Holt, the town accountant, at the select board meeting on April 29th. And we will periodically select someone or a group to receive this award. We arranged for Scituate Living, a monthly magazine published by Best Version Media, to highlight Scituate COD in its May 2025 edition. Oh, we received the $600 grant from the Scituate Education Foundation for the Disability Forum. We purchased food cart supplies for the Sailor Launch Program. That is a program run by the IXL program at Scituate High School. It is a coffee delivery service by the IXL students to Scituate High School and middle school teachers who can sign up for $10 a month. They provide coffee and snacks with that money. And the money they earn goes towards the community gardens, which the IXL students maintain. So we also purchased gardening supplies for these community gardens. And it's at the high school, and they've harvested those things. And people are, the students, the cafeteria prepares foods with those things from the garden. We also purchased a beach accessible wheelchair in partnership with Wheels for Waves, a Scituate 8th grade civic project to improve access to beach wheelchairs. So this wheelchair, like the other ones we have donated, is maintained by the Scituate Recreation Department. And we also agreed to have our monthly meetings recorded starting last month. Thank you.
Wonderful. So much over the whole year. It's been a fabulous year. Next year is gonna be just as good, if not better. Again, that accessible wheelchair, wonderful addition. Already had some folks write in and talk about it. But budget wise, things are the same as other years. Questions, comments?
And the flat is $5,000, so it's a
Right.
lot with a little.
It's a lot with
It's
a little,
with a little money.
yes, to say the least.
Thank you.
Great work.
Any questions that you,
Oh, thank you.
All I can say is I'm impressed. with
well,
the amount of effort here for such a limited budget.
well, so I'm gonna put a plug in for our next accessibility awareness event, which will probably be in March of 2027. It really is something special to be at, to see.
Yes.
To see all the vendors, they don't pay to come, but the people who provide services and programs for people with disabilities, and for the people that come, the caretakers, people with disabilities. It's really quite an event, and we have the launch program. They have a food truck outside, and they just ask for donations. They don't charge, but they have, hot dogs, cookies, and it's all run by adults with cognitive and intellectual disabilities. It's really quite something. So you will find out about a year and a half, and I'll be telling you, come visit. Thank you.
Thank you.
And all the other towns, that we partner with the other towns, I've heard only great things from them as well, so thank you and congratulations on all the great work.
Thank you. Be well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yes, oh, I didn't see you sneak in, I'm sorry. Bob, you snuck in on in, yeah. Come on up, let's talk. And again, you might get this wrong, but we're looking for the Reader's Digest version.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, we get the highlights, we don't have any more questions.
We just caught up the press, so we.
Bob, that means short. Bob, Reader's Digest was short.
But we like pictures.
I love pictures.
Pictures are
Yes.
good.
Pictures.
The comics, the sports page,
Love when you get
the pictures. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, look at that whale thing, just the whale.
What?
I do.
Oh, that was like something.
I missed that. Oh, yeah.
Good lady.
Yes, he was.
All right. What do you wanna know?
Yeah. How do you wanna, us to proceed?
Let's go more per day. What are we thinking for next year that we got? I know you've come in a couple of times. Sorry, do you want to just start?
Oh, no, I had a question, but. you
Go,
said
start with the
I was
question.
low.
Go.
Oh, can we start with the
Go,
question?
start with
or
the
do you want
question.
a presentation? I think it's awesome that, I noticed the difference from last year to this year is you hired a manager for the homes, and I'm interested in how that's going. I see it's a new addition to the budget, the $13,000. And I'm interested in how it's going and specifically what they're doing, if it's alleviating some of the issues we've had in the past with like getting a call in the middle of the night or
Yeah.
just like what they're doing.
What it's done is it's taken a lot off my plate.
Which is great, right?
That's what we need to do. We need to give Bob a break.
Oh, yeah, great. And I know you got called in the middle of the night about
Oh,
a
yeah.
raccoon in a house or something. So I'm just curious, so what are the responsibilities and how has that worked out for you?
Discuss with qualifications. Is
Um,
that really right?
Yeah, I don't actually have his resume, but he's came with a lot of experience relative to development, little bit of contractor background. He is just a very impressive person. We thought when we interviewed him, somebody who's a great listener,
Mm-hmm.
who who has I think brings a great perspective. He understands, he's worked with other towns, particularly Marshfield, he understands budgets and what we need to be aware of relative to historic preservation. And he just started in May,
Okay.
so we based that budget on what his payments have been for his work in the last 4 months. He really keeps track of the properties, he's great about visiting them frequently, and we tip them off to, needs. If there's an issue with, as an example, smoke detectors, we had an issue with that. Some of them were just getting very old, and we just asked him to check all the sites, and he replaced some of the detectors as needed. He's developed, I think, a good relationship with the town manager or town administrator and Nancy. They've been great working with Carmen, and he, as an example, recently sat down with Nancy and we talked about next steps relative to the Pebworth CPC project that will be coming up. He's worked on just getting the specs ready, and he'll be continuing to work with Nancy on that as we go forward. So he's been terrific. He works well with Bobby. Bobby's been
Very well.
great in showing him around and yeah, works very well.
Great.
All right, should go through it. Actually, if you can answer kind of these questions when we go through, just what are you kind of excited about going forward, and what are you kind of concerned? That makes sense?
Yeah, the base house is a big deal. I actually brought pictures of people those down. You may be disappointed when you see them, but.
Did they move the beam? Or move the beam already?
But we have some very talented people that are involved in this. I'm sure you all know Spencer Preservation. They got Preservation Massachusetts Award for the Lighthouse, for the Spire Center. We've got them on the base house. They brought in Michael Burry, who teaches at North Bennett Street. He actually was one of the handful of Americans that worked on Notre Dame Cathedral. Oh, he's a guest speaker at a society dinner last year, and they brought in a company down the Cape that's worked on some pretty impressive projects. And just being a fly on the wall and listen to them when they're in the base house talk about what you would expect. If you look at the pictures, you'll see how bad it is. Some of the beams, which is cut and taken out. They put a shed dormer on the top, which they cut the beam in the middle out, and it just hangs there. So as a result, the whole building is sagging. So it's quite.
So you're both concerned and excited.
Well, I've been in the basement. I know what it's like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you finding things like new issues as you get into it?
It seems like every time something happens, there's a new issue. Maybe just an example, they were replacing the washer dryer. So we had to have Tommy Gallagher replace the water hookup because that was not a snot. Then they came to hook up the washer dryer. The dryer did not vent it, just vented into the utility, which is probably illegal, I would guess, right? So there's always something.
I'm not gonna say otherwise. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's,
It's
yeah.
retros.
And, we have a lot of stuff coming up, tours when the kids, third graders do it. It's kind of exciting. I don't know if you saw Lost in Town, lit it up on Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've got the red, white, and blue lights up now today. So, yeah, been a lot of stuff going on. I'm pretty excited about it.
How old is this building?
1656, I think.
Yep.
Wow.
Sorry about
Is that termite damage?
That's just powder post beetles and whatever else, yeah. There's some of this, it's old. And it's been moved around, the roof was reconfigured. Jericho Road was not there, so it faced what they call Low Street, which is either there now Front Street. Then I think when Jericho went in, they actually. That makes
Wow.
sense.
People walking, you know, that's such a heavy walking area.
It is.
Going out to the lighthouse from the harbor. And it was frequently, we would hear from people who would walk in front of Jericho, of the Bates house and stop and look at it, and then notice that the roof line sagged, I don't know, probably about 6 inches down, right into the center. It was just so obvious that we had issues. So,
We haven't been letting people in the dining room because that floor is in bad shape. I went in the basement and jacked it up a little bit, shored it up, but so you could walk in there, but I don't.
We're gonna address it and, you know,
So.
we'll get there.
our tenant was really nervous about the dining room, walking in there, she stopped entering. Yeah. So. Anything else in particular on?
No, that was, I mean, yes, anything, you folks wanna make sure to highlight or? Yeah,
I think we probably covered most everything. Short and sweet, right?
I mean, I think the thing that, the line item or breakdown, I guess, within the line item of maintenance of buildings and sites is, that's always the key, concern, that we, are able to allot enough money to cover, those, all the buildings. You know, we have a total of 11 buildings, of which, we're responsible for all of them, and 7 of them are town-owned. And so it's just always a concern, and from year to year, we rely on the Historic New England Organization for resource information so that we can get some idea of the kinds of costs we're looking at year to year relative to just basic maintenance. So they've been great, and I feel like this is a reasonable amount, and knock on wood, you know, with the exception of utilities, which we built a little extra in because of the forecast for those costs. But I feel as though, we should be okay. Not, so. And then the other thing, I just wanted to jump in on, just to give you a little update, on the Cudworth House project, because you folks have been very supportive. CPC has given us monies in the past for the project, for us to restore the interior and create, a museum, basically, a decorative arts museum to showcase a lot of artifacts that we've had tucked away in our archives, and that's difficult because the public doesn't get to see unless we take them on a tour of the archives, and it's not a great setup for having people troop through. So we're just about done with the interior, and what we're looking to do is open it in the spring for 4 or 5 months, and then for the roof, and then close again when we get ready to do the roof projects, which will likely be towards the end of the summer, early fall, hopefully. And totally redo that house roof as well as the barn roof. Barn roof is very bad. So we'll work on getting set up for that. There's a lot of work to do, particularly in the barn, moving out the Chief Justice cushion carriage in the Lafayette Shay and getting them probably into pods, so that the project can proceed. So that's an update on that.
Yeah, we have Lafayette's coach, believe it or not. In Scituate, who would have thought?
Who would've thought, yeah.
One of his, one of the Lafayette's visited Scituate once and pulled it out for him.
Yeah.
All done. Questions?
I'm good, I appreciate all your efforts and your dedication. Believe me.
My main question was,
was really on the utilities because of escalating costs, but it sounds like you guys have tried to assess for that, so.
Yeah, fully, yeah,
Yeah.
fully a little more.
I just want to thank you. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, but also it's a small, very small budget for what they're maintaining.
Yes.
No, it's like a total of $60,000 for maintaining all
Yes. Well, it's
Well,
incredible.
it's
That's
a-
again,
it's-
money well spent.
of it. Prudently
town-
spent as well, too.
The town, the new facilities director, I should mention him, by the way.
You should, he's right
He's
back
right
here.
behind you. He's been great.
Say nice
yeah.
things.
I'm sorry for that, I'll tell you. If he was here, I'd give him a piece of my mind.
But he's been wonderful, great work, great for Carmen to work with, and we're trying to choose, Carmen's trying to, I should say, with our support, utilize the same tradespeople contractors that the town utilizes. Just makes sense to do that, so.
Everything just seems more, no, it wasn't much more systematic and things are,
Cam's actually been in the base house.
Yeah,
He knows
no,
what to expect.
it's amazing. It's really good. So thank you. So there's so much more.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And don't forget tomorrow night at the Untold Brewery.
Yeah, the pub crawl.
All right.
Good night.
Pub crawl tomorrow night,
Well,
that's
if you
all
wanna
on
join us,
Greenbush.
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Town clerk. Gardner, how are you?
Hello, good evening.
Now, before you say, I'm gonna say this, you don't want to say it, and no one here needs to agree with me, but I'm gonna say this in it. Over the last few years, with so many more unfunded mandates from the state, not giving them enough resources, your office has done a phenomenal job trying to keep up with all the different changes. Election rules, it's just absolutely amazing, and I just find it terrible that our state legislature doesn't do more to help, especially make sure that you have the funding and the resources to do. You have a wonderful team. But with that, I will let you start.
Thank you. I do have a wonderful team. And the election workers as well, but my staff, my
Yeah.
support staff is wonderful. When I need to tuck myself in my little corner office, they're handling the counter and, there are times when I'm just too focused, hyper focused and, I get that face and that's better that they're at the counter than I am. So they're wonderful. And the election workers, they're incredible as well. So we're very lucky to have them. They do a great job. They're all conscientious. And they know at election time, when there's so much controversy, both sides of the fence, on election day, at the polls, they know there's no discussion. And if they see this face, they better. So we have really good clerk. That being said, the challenge is next year, the fiscal year, we have two biennial elections. We have the primary September 1st, that's the date, and November 3rd, I think it is, for the state election. And then we have the annual town in 2027. And I will not be up for the election, or I am up for the election. Doing it, but anyhow, so we have the 3 elections in fiscal 27 and the 2 town meetings, the annual and probably fall. And that is it on that. We had a busy spring this year. The district election, January 25th, winter, January 25th, for the South Shore Protect, the annual special town meeting in April. The annual town election in May, that was 3,100 and almost 3,200 voters. And then we had the special, November 3rd, we had the special and 170 voters showed up for that. But yes, I try to do this every time I do an edit, is to thank the different departments throughout the town, not just, and in town hall, for their support. Because it's not just election staff that makes these events go off seamlessly. It's the help of DPW, Tom Brown, our custodian, the school, the cooperation. There's so many people. The recreation, we make sure the fields aren't being used so that voters have access to the polls. So it literally takes a village to pull off these events and have it organized enough so that, the public has trust and faith in us and transparency is there for everybody. And I always say too, I reiterate this every single time. Do not follow social media for questions on election information. Call your town and city clerk.
Yes.
Please, because I can't respond to the errors that are posted on, I'm not supposed to do that. So call my office about any election.
Well, good. I appreciate what you do
Thank you,
in your entire department.
thank you,
Always a pleasure to be in that office.
thank you.
So as a caveat with Cal, I'm not running for election if the market's good.
Yeah.
So we have to decide whether it's worth tanking the economy so she stays or not.
Yeah, if my charge cards.
I think you guys did an amazing job. Your team is wonderful. I must have reached out to you, I don't know, 100 times during the election cycle, to try and make sure that everything was proper and that I was doing things right and learning as I go. And you were always tremendous. Your staff was always tremendous.
Thank
And you were right on top of every question you had. And if you didn't know the answer wasn't right, you got it for me within about 5 minutes. So it's awesome. So thank you for
I appreciate
reaching out
that.
to such an organized place.
Thank you, appreciate it,
I appreciate all your hard work.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you
Big
guys.
election
Happy
integrity,
Thanksgiving.
everything, I love it.
I know, right?
Thank you.
Happy holiday.
Nancy and Colin.
I know, yeah, right? Great show, DeVito, come on up.
I'm so excited.
So before you start, I gotta tell the story. I think this is what, the summer or was it? I think it was early summer. And I knock on the door, or no, I'm just out in the back. Sir, I gotta do this assessment, okay. Here's Joe just walking around my house doing everything. It's like 10 minutes later. Oh, I didn't even know it was you. You were so focused and everything, we're like done. But it was like, hard, this guy's like on the ball, working hard. It's awesome. I love it.
Never look
It was
at
so fun.
names. Never look at names.
Right.
Knock on the door, introduce, make sure you know I'm on the property and
Say hi.
I'll do my thing.
Yeah, so I thought it was great. So anyway, that was a great story.
I'm glad that was a positive.
It was very good. I mean, it's, you were so like hardworking and focused. It was cool. I was like, all right.
Then he got his tax bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, how much did he raise your,
They're not coming
The
out.
appropriate amount.
The appropriate amount, yeah.
So speaking of that,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna regurgitate everything Jim
You?
as directed. Jim's great and Nancy's, they enough great things about both of them. So our mission in a nutshell is equitable assessments. How do we do that? By pounding the pavement, as you just described. The more inspections we do, the better our data. And why do we need good data? Because at the end of the day, we analyze sales based on this data. And if the data is bad, the analysis will be bad. And not only unfair to the citizens and taxpayers of Scituate, but our analysis won't get approved at the Department of Revenue level unless we keep up our cyclical reinspection program, which we started 8 years ago. We're almost there, and then it starts all over again. So once every 10 years, homes should be inspected. Just condition changes, things are added or updated, all for the purpose of providing equitable and fair assessments to everyone. So that's our primary mission. But what I like best, and I remember giving this answer in an interview, why do you want to be an assessor? And I said, I want to help people. And everybody burst out laughing because nobody really thinks that the assessor is helping anyone. Well, I can tell you, my staff and I really have a soft spot for exemptions and getting the word out, having workshops. Our first workshop this year is December 18th at the Senior Center at 11 o'clock. We've doubled the number of exemptions over the past few years than we've ever in the past. Town meeting last year, thanks to your support, doubled the veterans exemption amounts. And they're very pleased and they know who the credit goes to. It's town meeting and the select board for putting it on the warrant, so thank you. As far as the budget goes, $150 increase in non-salary expenses. Trying to keep it real, and the rest of the increase is steps and goals.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell.
I love it. I do have one question to you,
Sure.
Elaine, especially some of our newer members and, can you talk a little bit, because on new growth, there's been some new growth changes, so when you do the financial forecast, there's been some changes which may have kind of impacted our new growth numbers, excuse me. You try to explain it just a little bit so people understand why.
Sure,
Yeah.
and it's funny, well, not funny, I'm glad you brought it up, because I'm still fighting. I've found some inconsistencies in other towns, what's accepted, what's not accepted.
Interesting.
As far as the growth, back in the old days, any increase in value, and old days, I started in 91, so I mean old days. Any increase in value not attributable to a market adjustment, so not the 4.5% market adjustment that we placed on property on average this year. Not that increase, but anything else, new deck, new kitchen, new bath, new roof, if it added value, that was growth. Then the Department of Revenue this year sent out a bulletin saying new kitchen, new bath, new roof, new siding, new windows, that's not new growth. Unless it all happens at once, but one individual component is not new growth, even though a kitchen that was in fair condition and now is brand new, it's not gonna add 100,000 of value, but it's gonna add 20, 30,000 of value, and that's $300 times hundreds and hundreds of properties with these smaller permits that we used to be able to pick up. So I will continue to advocate to at least have a uniform policy in enforcement of growth. And right now, based on the way I'm seeing things and hearing things, I'm coding everything that is an increase not attributable to market as growth. And we'll go from there next year. I still want to be conservative with that projection.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, the days of Seaside, Stockbridge Landing, Sky Sail, those,
Yeah.
it's over for now, but, there are some projects that are shovel ready, and we also have the project on Old Oak and Bucket, so we do have some growth. Like kind of new houses, tear downs, and subdivision on that road, we're gonna see some new houses kind of soon. So, but I still felt comfortable about the 700,000 projection, even though we did come in at 853 this year.
Yeah.
No, it's a big change.
It was a big change, unfortunately for our budget.
Do you want to take a ship of Theseus approach?
Yeah.
Exactly.
People out there. That's great. Questions? Comments, thoughts, concerns?
I'm good, thank you, appreciate it.
Praise.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for your support, I appreciate it.
Sierra, how are you? Board of Health.
I'd like to thank you for putting me ahead of the golf course. It's always discouraging coming in back of him when he makes so much money and I don't make any, so it's a pleasure to be here.
You keep
Yeah.
helping. Keep
Yeah.
people
Kind
helping.
of like septic running
Where
It also helps keep the golf course up, too, trust me.
Oh, that's
I got a blue shot,
I think you can.
That's great. So it's a pleasure to be before the board tonight. The Board of Health's mission, we force Chapter 111 Mass General Laws. The majority of our work is Title V, septic. We do a little bit of everything with the staff that we have, with the nurse, the food clinics, even though it's a part-time position, huge. And then the social worker, the work that we're doing throughout the town and in alliance with the public health excellence grants that we have with Phenom and Cohasset with the 2 additional social workers that we have. So I'm always pushing for additional social workers through the grant. And we did have a little setback, I'm not sure if you were aware of it, but Pam Fahey, who was the health director in Cohasset, passed away suddenly, and Cohasset is the lead in the public health excellence grant. We have a company that we license or that we contract with, BME Strategies, that was working with Pam, overseeing the grant, making sure everything got into DPH on time and things that we needed. So that's continuing. Cohasset does have a job application, a job opportunity out. They have it advertised already. So hopefully that position will get filled in Cohasset, just so that we can get a little bit more continuity going within the grant. That's our biggest challenge right now. We also had an employee retire this year, Teresa Tufts, longtime Scituate employee. I know she's not watching right now, but Teresa was just a wonderful, wonderful employee. Unbelievable front of the house. She came in, she knew her stuff. She was just absolutely fantastic. The whole staff that we have is fantastic. We get a lot of support from Jim and Nancy. I can't say enough about Nancy money pot. That's my weakness. So having a strong, Nancy's just fantastic.
It was a snacks.
That's rather weak, that's.
I do like that. The budget is level funded except for contractual raises. And if anyone has any questions?
Is there anything,
I respect what you do, and it's very important for this town to have this confidence in this department.
We enjoy what we do. And we're very glad that we're not doing 24/7 COVID anymore. So it's nice to be back to regular public health. And it's not too late to get your flu shot.
Right. It doesn't hurt either.
No, doesn't.
anything so I kind of went through some of the concerns with some of the staffing and the grant, anything, you kind of excited about for flu clinics going on?
I'm just excited that we have, we do have a new employee. Her name is Megan Walsh. She's our new admin out front. She has a bachelor's degree in public health. She previously worked down at Mayor Community Health.
Right.
So as Joan and I are in our setting years, we're hoping that Megan will be able to come up with, she already has a bachelor's degree in public health, and so we have some type of continuity going.
Nice.
Not that we're leaving anytime soon, but we always are on the lookout to make sure that we keep things going smoothly.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, come on. How are you?
Good, how we doing? Colder. Excuse my voice. Colder late fall than previous. Gymnastics. But. So.
We're looking for the par 3 version of the par 5.
Yeah, no, I know. First year of increased fees. We started those in April or mid-March. And, even still, I think they went up from essentially $69 to $82 on the weekend cards. Nobody complained, it's still probably not high enough, but I don't want to really change that. Like we're at, and, we ended last year just under 2.2, 200,000 higher than the year before. So this year we're pacing for 130, 140,000 more than that. So we're gonna probably end up just shy of 2.35, which is
2.35.
crazy, it's 5-6 years ago we were 1.2.
Yeah,
We're in the black again.
yeah, so we're healthy, we got about 680 in, retained earnings, gonna put another 680 in at the end of this fiscal year approximately. You can use some of that for equipment and carts and stuff, but it still end up right around $1 million. So, which we've never had, so.
So I'll ask the same question for others. What are you most, if there is, but what are you concerned about most, background?
Yeah.
What else are you concerned about? And, but also like, what are you excited about? Is there anything else we should know or
I mean,
thinking of, or anything that, have an opportunity to?
Yeah, we put a little bit more in the budget, 25 grand for like, chemicals, fertilizer, like, as you know, we get real dry in the summer. Even if we did connect the ponds by August, which is huge. But with the high heat, how sandy our soils are, we're gonna need some extra, July and August just to maintain. We haven't still had that full summer of like perfect condition. Right. The greens have been perfect always, but we were dry for 8 weeks. And then we always spend 2 months bouncing back and, it'll be nice next year. We should be able to not have that going forward. Water supply, chemicals, we got the money to support it because we get so much more cart traffic. Right. Than we did in the past. I think people don't really realize what, black tires do to grass when it's 90 degrees out. And we have 290 rounds a day for 4 months straight. It really wears on the fairways, which is why they get so dry. So people are always, wondering what happens to the fairways in the summer. Well, water, I wouldn't have time. We don't use any town water. People, this is an exception. Our water supply and our irrigation pond is very low. We connected, we fixed that in August. But even still, it's not just water unless you have that much traffic. It's like driving a car in your lawn every day, 280 times. That grass that's cut at about a quarter inch or a half inch, so it does wear, which is why it does need more chemicals. So but other than that, I mean, we're very healthy. I think the big project coming forward is something we've been holding off since, the clubhouse is now only 4 or 5 years apart from being paid off, is the irrigation system, which has to be fully done, which was approved in 2018, probably 2.1 or 2.2, but it's gonna be higher than that. So having $1 million in the bank is great, but it will go not relatively quickly, but it will go spent for an irrigation system. We're gonna get more accurate quotes this winter, somewhere probably in the 3.2 range.
Over a couple. From what you were quoted.
No, it was like 2.2.
Oh.
But that was like that was like 7 years ago. So we're not sure exactly, but it was 2.2 in 2018.
Okay, I thought you said 1.2.
The town, that was before I came here, I started 2020, so they had quoted the irrigation system. There was like 3 big pieces. The irrigation system needed to be done, the clubhouse needed to be done, and the parking lot needed to be done. We made the choice to do the parking lot and the clubhouse first. It's probably about 70% paid off.
Yeah.
But now it's just, we're paying about 175 grand a year the next, I believe, 4 years. But that's included in our expenses here. So in 4 or 5 years, that'll free up another 170 grand. So even if we put $1 million down and did a new loan for 2.2 in 10 years, that's 250 grand a year.
Makes good sense.
So we'll be playing a good spot. But our plan, Austin's fantastic. We hired him 2 years ago from Charles River, and it's just gotten better and better. And he's got obviously bigger, better plans every year. We'd like to do even more tee box work. There's still a bunch of tee box issues because they're so small. Like it's not enough surface area. So a lot of divots, a lot of long irons, a lot of irons. And those two. And
Oh, you're gonna wait.
But yeah, I mean overall it's great. It's great. It's good. It's just the busier it is, and we're almost at, I would say, that busyness. So we'll probably in 2 years we'll probably level off on revenue for a couple of years, and then make a decision if we raise fees.
But with so many hours.
Yeah.
All right, so what I love here, we're not ending up like Ponca Pond. Some other municipal forces that. Yes, please.
I just want to thank you because I see in your departmental accomplishments report is the support of Scituate High School varsity and junior varsity teams.
Yep.
I think that's an admirable thing to do to encourage the future and to have some involvement with our school system. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say half of the boys team works for
Yeah, well, that's even better. That's good.
them, which is great because it's, you know, they're there anyway, so.
Very comprehensive.
And they did finish fourth in the state finals. They were 4 strokes away from winning the state championship, so it was very close. Yeah, they had the lead with like 3 holes to go. Like most of us. Failed lots
So
of
just
holes.
like
They played great all year.
Appreciate that greatly.
Yeah, absolutely. Florida, it's amazing. Yeah, finished 4th. It's incredible. Can't High won, they went out to Conic, which is where Williams College plays, out in the north corner of Massachusetts. Number 1 collegiate golf course in the country.
Wow.
Yeah, awesome down on really good. But yeah, they came 4th. Almost pulled it off. I think it's the furthest the team's gone in 50, 40 years.
Awesome.
Since 40 years, since 85. Where our 2 of our reigning club champions were on that team.
Questions, comments? No.
Good.
Great job. Well,
done.
cheers.
Keep doing it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank
Come
you.
play.
Will do.
Also, I wish we get the 2 favorite people in the world. Nancy's number 1. Jim's close too.
You can have more chocolate. You can.
Thanks, guys.
Be good.
Chair, I'm gonna recuse myself.
Yes.
From the rec department budget, my wife works for the rec department.
All right. Good. Call again. In the field.
Bring some snacks.
Our lots. All right, actually, before we begin, I gotta say this, we're talking about it a little later.
Yep.
But while you and Cam were in the room.
Yep.
We did the survey.
Survey.
They told you anything about the survey?
No, but I was certainly interested in the results. I can hang around too, if you don't wanna do it.
Oh, I don't know if we're gonna go through everything, because we'll release it fully, but you should know,
Yep.
every department is above average.
Awesome.
Like, especially when you look at national ratings of how towns are ranked. So, you know, some of the best, and for improvements would be on facilities, on how well maintained and maintenance. And then on rec, what was the rec numbers were,
Why?
you're very high, so you're
Yeah.
among the top for satisfaction.
That's good.
So
Senior
everybody,
center might have beaten you out, but.
I know, but I still, I love
Like-
library and
Senior
senior
center
center.
together, so
That's
yeah.
my mistake.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I goofed that one up, but
Right, we also don't know who's taking this.
also, when you go through the comments, people are very happy. Yeah.
Does it tell you how many people it was?
That's awesome.
That's
700.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is,
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Like,
So both of you should feel very good.
Yeah, no,
So
that's
you don't need-
absolutely, yes, thank you for sharing that. So, I'll try to be short and sweet. First, like to go over our Mr. C's Community Spirit Award, which we go through, every year here at the budget review. This award goes to an individual who has significantly contributed his or her time to our community, and more specifically to the rec department, while demonstrating good character, leadership, and enthusiasm. This year, we'd like to award Mike Connor for his many years of serving the community while employed by the department. Mike's been on the rec commission for a number of years, as well as, been director of a number of different rec programs. He's put a lot of time and effort into this town, a number of different projects he was a part of, we got programs. So thank you, Mike, for your years of service on the commission and being part of the department. Thank you. And then we'll go through kind of some of the highlights and numbers for recreation. A lot of new programs this past fiscal year, including real tight fishing with Patrick Kearney. We had our co-ed adult soccer league that took place this past summer. We had a robotics and coding course for kids, as well as pottery for adults and kids, a number of different homeschool programs. We really dove into the homeschool demographic these past few years, so we're really looking to expand upon that going forward.
We added a women's over 25 basketball league, which is taken off, as well as some gardening and foraging programs. So that's basically highlights a few of the programs that we've added over the past year or so. We've sold over 96,000 hours of programming, employed 100 volunteers with given over 1,750 community service hours, 100 summer program employees, with 35 of those employees being on lifeguard staff, as well as 25 independent contractors and instructors. We have over 50 year-round part-time program instructors. We had over 6,300 participants that signed up for our programs through the past fiscal
Say that
year.
number again?
6,300, 6,300.
6,000 through, that is.
And always,
Individuals, or were there people signed up for multiple?
that would include multiple,
Okay.
yes. But still.
That's still.
That's still a lot.
impressive.
Yeah, don't bury the lead there.
I had to answer truthfully on that.
6,300 people.
Yeah.
Even if that's incredible amount of.
So always looking, obviously, to expand upon that number on a yearly basis, whether it be by adding programs or adding more spots and opportunities in our current program. We provided scholarships to local families for this past fiscal year, or FY 25, and totaling $3,293. And yeah, we're always looking to improve upon our programming, special events, our field amenities, our fields that we offer, beach amenities, etc. And always open to ideas that anybody may have. So just going through our programs on a per season basis, our summer had 133, fall 86, winter 86, spring 82 for a total of 387. And again, always looking to expand upon that number with some new unique offerings for people of all ages, adults, kids, toddlers, anybody. Whether it's sports, enrichment programs, arts, theater, etc. Happy to take any questions, comments.
Well, I'm aware of some new activity, potentially the Irish game possibly getting
Yes.
involved with you.
Yep.
And look forward to your devotion to that.
Yes, we actually we met with Skip Fernandez from the committee yesterday to try to start to plan out a Heritage Day game, which is sponsored through the rec department. It'll be a Gaelic football match between two colleges. So it's really in the beginning stages, but we're hoping to bring that to Scituate come this coming Heritage Day in August. So looking forward to the planning process.
Good imagination, good sense of humor, and great effort. So
thank you.
What are you thinking with the farmers market community?
Yes, so I'll talk a little bit about that. I just feel like that would be something great for the Scituate community to have. I know we've tried it in the past. I think it was through the Chamber of Commerce. But I feel like we have a few good spots in which we can host a good sized farmers market, bringing in a ton of local vendors, some music, some arts, etc. The people of Scituate have also expressed interest in being a part of it. So something we're trying to plan out with the commission, and haven't really quite dove into it yet, but it's something that we're going to look into soon. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's
I just know that I was involved when it was a couple of years ago, was at in front of the town hall, and prior to that had been in North Scituate, and it was in the St. Mary's parking lot. Like it was sort of moving all around, and then I think it moved to somebody's like farm off of 3A. Like
we have a great location right in front of the Rec and Senior Center. I feel like that grassy area would be ideal. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna try for it. See what happens. Cool. Yeah.
No, I just think you do a great job, and it's a great department. Every time the brochure comes out, there's more things. Like even more than what you mentioned, I think it was like hair braiding and last time.
Yeah, we actually just had a
Yes, I swear, I read the pamphlet and my kids like.
Jamie, you going?
Different stuff. I was
I was looking at Andrew.
my three boys growing up.
There's something for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, so I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
like trying out a bunch of different stuff.
For sure, yeah, we're not shy, we're
Everybody
always.
likes field sports. I
Right.
have,
No,
I have 3 of them that don't, so.
Without even knowing, you even help some kids make money.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. Just why not? And I can.
And it's fun to watch him sit in the hall, huh?
Yes, it is.
We're just gonna, we're gonna
The
film on
babysitting.
there, so he sits
The
out.
babysitting, like, right, you teach kids how to be a proper,
Right.
and then sort of
Yeah,
this.
certification.
That's true, my
She's-
kids do
Yep.
that.
Right, and now,
Now I play
friends,
them.
you know, and she's like, yeah. Let's do it, and she got some money from the neighborhood,
Yeah.
because it's.
That is a great class.
That's a great class.
It, I
You've been-
will
you've been
say,
offering that for
my
like
kids have
15
taken
years.
that, it's a great class,
It is,
even for like Home Alone too, like there's a
Yeah.
Home Alone class, it's good.
but we've partnered with them for 15+ years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they don't
all
listen to
organized
their
in a group.
parents, but they'll listen to someone else teaching them
True.
how, like, what you should do with your babies. Because why would a parent know?
Right.
But they definitely.
Right, why would a parent
Why
have
would a
raised
parent
you?
know, but they definitely,
Right.
that teacher's
Yeah,
great,
yeah, yeah.
you know it.
How-
Yeah.
And obviously, a huge thank you to our rec staff. The rec department is nothing without it's an all-around team effort. So Kevin and Angela, our newly hired registrar Meg, and Sarah do a tremendous job. So we can thank them as well.
Well, you will love whenever we get all the comments, so you can read all the nice
Yeah.
things you want to say.
Appreciate the kind words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
700 people who wrote something, 1,000 who did all that nonsense. Yeah.
Mine.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, the budget is not, again, almost all of these is your.
And we're level funded.
We're level funded.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another great year.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
It's some good that you probably could talk about the 5%. Yes, because a lot of that is nothing about.
Yes.
The 5% that was asked in the budget, to like, if you can cut the budget 5%, what would you do? And we haven't gone through it individually, but.
Yeah, we did it
Because it is,
again today.
a lot of it is cutting into bonds. Then I would think like that's for programs or cutting hours. Hopefully we won't.
All right.
Take it away.
Take it away. Again, you should feel good.
Yeah, I do.
We're
I
happy.
appreciate the kind words. Yeah, that's good. It's been a bit of a lift.
It's like an endless job.
Yeah.
But you have to get something
Exactly.
that is, but I hope it's also a little rewarding. because-
That is nice to hear. It's usually a thankless job too, so it's good to hear that. So thank you.
Yeah, it's not going unnoticed.
Yeah.
Other people don't want things fixed, or they're, but it's not going unnoticed. So,
Cool.
it's very good.
So I'm here to present on the facilities department's budget. Our mission statement, we're really just here to provide a clean, safe, welcoming environment for not only the town staff, but the residents of the town that visit our facilities. I was gonna just go through a few accomplishments. I'm not gonna mention all of them. Then I'll just go into a couple of goals for this year, and then the changes in our budget that I requested. So this year, we accomplished a lot of things, but some highlights were the town hall. One of my goals last year was to make the town hall a more welcoming space, make it look a lot cleaner, aesthetically pleasing. I think we succeeded with that in the main order. It's been.
I get many compliments.
Yeah, it looks
People,
good.
I don't know whether
Yeah.
but I have many compliments. It does look like a different hallway.
It's a complete transfer.
There's like actual
We're in the
signs to
21st
where you need to
century now,
go.
so- I
There's
told her when Jamie
numbers.
did the
The
floors.
flooring is amazing.
Yeah,
I don't
Jamie
know,
played
you
a part in
must
that.
have known a guy on that.
You have great people to do that for.
Yeah.
That's great.
That was our number one accomplishment, I would say. The Maritime Center and the Harbor Master, they kind of went on, those two buildings went under some refurbishment too, just kind of making them, again, aesthetically pleasing. That was a huge goal of mine, bring the buildings to the 21st century, make it look a little bit nicer so we can focus on what I see as very important, which is a goal for us every year will be to perform maintenance on the buildings. The guts of the buildings, the infrastructure in town, we want to take care of those buildings.
I take a lot of pride that Scituate is willing to continue to invest into those buildings, put new buildings up all over town. Our whole department does. And we want to make sure that we get, the full life expectancy out of those buildings. It's something that I preach to the whole department. And now that everything is kind of aesthetically pleasing, it allows us to really go down and get into the hideaway areas, the basements, the mechanical spaces that not everybody sees every day, but really the most important parts of our facilities. So that's a number one goal for us heading into the next fiscal year. We implemented a new work order system that we're trying to kind of get used to. My staff, we didn't have that before. So heading into the next year, we want to make sure that we really prioritize that system. It's going to allow us to be very efficient. Things won't get forgotten as much. We don't want to forget about things. But it is a learning curve for the whole staff, so it's a goal of us to really get a grasp on that. Same thing hand in hand there. We want to communicate better with the staff. We want to make sure that we're providing updates on what's going on. If something takes a while, we don't want to start at point A, get a ticket, and then leave this big gap and be like, all right, it's done. A few months later, we want to communicate throughout the whole process and make sure everybody's in a loop on it. I think in facilities that gets forgotten a lot. Just keeping people informed, and that's something that we want to do this year, this upcoming year. So the biggest changes in our budget is we requested utility increases this year. It's something that hasn't really happened a whole lot the past few years, at least this significant. Those requests are all based on actual invoices with a little bit of extra to add on top. So it is very needed. When I presented, I talked about maintenance, and the last thing I want to do as a facilities director is have to, we're all level funded, have to level fund my budget to cover utilities and neglect buildings. And I don't want to see that go on in Scituate. Like I said, I take a lot of pride in all the buildings you're putting up. So this is a big part of me being able to do that, my whole team being able to do that.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
With that, well, this wouldn't be for this budget or going forward.
Yeah.
When you're around town looking at these, and we've done a really good job. But do you see any holes or gaps for any energy efficiency? Just for the fact, because I know again, we've done that before, we're very good, but
I do. I do see some gaps in it.
Yes, that's historical.
Every single one.
And I did take that into account when I proposed this. They're very close to what the invoices were for the previous fiscal year. So by the time we get to fiscal year 27, I do think that we're going to be able to work with what's here. The gap that we have, our control system needs to be optimized. So we proposed the capital budget this year to do that. And I think by doing that and then working with the numbers that I proposed in this, we're going to be in a good place.
Control, so we can just shut stuff off.
We can kind of set schedules. We can have control here. Yeah, stuff.
So it doesn't get hot in here at 9 o'clock.
Right, and then if this building clears
I
out.
will.
at a
It's
certain
on
time.
purpose, it's to get you guys.
I know, it's to get me out of the room.
But that could be, different, when you shut it off, make sure it's off or whatever.
Yeah, and in order to do that, it requires a certain amount of software that we do not have.
And that's
so
like remote monitoring.
it's a controlled software, so,
That'll be a plus.
Yeah.
yeah, well,
What's the ballpark for the capital plan meter, what we post for that?
it's about $45,000, so it's not that significant for the amount of money that it's
So
gonna
what utilities cost,
stay out.
that would be a quick
We're very
burn
close.
back.
My predecessor did get us in a very, very close situation to that. I
Yeah,
just need to take it to the next.
Yeah, that's it, there's been a
Next
lot, there's always something.
Yeah,
That's, okay, I was just curious, because it's gonna be years and years, I think.
I think so too.
yes.
But we are due for an adjustment, I think, and we'll make good use of it. So.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off, it was just.
No, that was kind of it anyway. I was gonna open up the door, so short and sweet.
What, it seems like you're very organized, and one of the questions I had really was more for planning purposes, we start talking about the, Gold Parkway project. There's some debate about solar, whether to do it, where to do it, how much to do, and that's not the only place in the future that those kinds of questions are gonna come up. So I'm curious, how do you look at alternative energies when you talk about utility costs rising? Is that a valuable place to spend our time researching how to improve energy resources, or?
I think we should always be looking to improve. I will say that the biggest driver in our utility costs is the old Gates building. So that is a
Well,
bit
we're working
of
on that.
yeah, that we're already working on.
Because we've
and,
spent over $1 million on a vacant building, right?
Yeah.
For 10 years.
For utilities, yes.
But to your point about like sustainable infrastructure, you know, as we have those conversations about that building specifically, all our buildings, we should be looking at the best technology that's out there. We get in a situation at the state level that we go out to bid, you get the lower bid, so when we look at all that, we need to make sure that everyone is providing the same, you know, scope of work and making sure that we respect everything the way that it should be. Because I do think that the world is moving more electric here in Scituate. It is hard to do that. I'm not saying I'm completely for that. I think you get a lot of coastal storms. I haven't seen them yet. I've been informed that I will see them soon. So yeah, I think it's gonna be so. But I agree. I think we should always be. Thanks.
Why do we have so many electric vehicle charging stations at every single municipal buildings?
So that's a project that I had inherited coming in. We put the last one in with me here at the town hall. Those were all funded through a grant program through the state. So we were able to get a lot of those through that program. I think all of them actually. Yeah, all of them. So that was something that we took advantage of. We do make some revenue for the town off that, which is a plus. And it is, I see this one get used all the time. So I think somebody's there right now. Is that you?
It's
Yeah,
plugged
somebody's
in right
there.
now.
You're making money off me right now.
I do think it's a good thing, you know.
Yeah, no, I was
Yeah.
just curious because they always seem to be empty and they
Yeah.
are like the ones at the library, like take parking spot.
Oh,
You know?
really? Yeah. Yeah, so those ones I walked into.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was,
No,
no,
It's a good question.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure. Please.
So, for example, the Maritime Center. Your department is in charge of making sure it's taken care of and always pleasant.
Mhm.
You're not the people that clean it and collect any use fees for it if it's rented, are
There is a custodial employee that's hired through the rental. I think it's through Jen.
Yeah, our
And
office
Jen
handles the rentals and cleaning.
rents
you?
it.
So that's not your, I just want to make sure.
I will say
I
that
don't
we
see an
do,
income area here.
we do touch it once a week. I have a member of the team go over there and just go through it, make sure everything's okay. You know, we go in and clean it a little bit.
Then he's responsible for any capital that we do over there.
Right, I just want to make sure I understood that.
Yeah, and that's where that project came from. So, yeah.
Cool, thank you. I appreciate what you do. And it is a marked difference in this past year.
Awesome, thank you. I
Around the
appreciate
whole,
that.
everywhere. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
that's a great compliment.
I have one question on the request on the second shift.
Yeah,
Do you get a lot of night calls or?
I do get a decent amount of calls.
Okay.
But you have no life.
Yeah. So,
So the remote monitoring could be a solution to
That
that
could
as
help.
well.
I do think that position like that, you know, like I said, the maintenance piece of it, shutting things off, and I mean, we could probably afford for an interruption here and there, but as we really start to move forward, it'll be beneficial to the department to have somebody on the second shift. I wanted to introduce that now,
Right.
rather than later, but it's something that, you know, I think will benefit from.
Would it, or is there any place that does it, like a management service company that would be more cost effective
Potentially,
than hiring? I'm just,
and I
we're
could
in
look
very
into.
tight budget. I don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
it'll be less tight next year. But I do
Yeah.
recognize the need of a second shift if you've done your day and you're getting called at night too.
Yeah, we do
We
get
don't
our
need to
fair
burn
share.
out our facilities director.
kind of like a consultant, like
Like,
a service.
Yeah.
Like that they can
Like a
call if an
management.
alarm goes off or something, or I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the historic people in here and they hired someone
We do
to
envision.
alleviate some of Bob getting calls.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if
The
there's
life for that likelihood
options.
might be
Yeah, I wonder
higher.
if we talk about what the options are, yeah.
How many of the types of calls that you can get currently, say in the last 6 months, are calls that are, you know, issue or damage related versus security or risk related?
So typically it's something like a boiler, trips off, or you get an alarm and it tripped off. So you can't just go.
It's not something that like a police officer is gonna handle with a drive-by or.
Right,
It's
you have to
actually
go
actually
into the
requires a
building
facility person.
and check on it. The old gates that will resolve itself eventually. We get a lot of calls over there. We have these little monitoring devices in there that let us know if the stairwell gets too cold. There's a couple of stairwells over there that have like minimal heat. The winter, I get most of my calls, but in the summertime, it can be like an AC unit. We got a call for some damage at the recreation department the weekend one time. That was something. But
That's been fixed.
yeah, it's been fixed. So it varies. It really does. You can't predict the next day. That's why I love this career. But it comes with its.
Yeah, walking into old gates at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Morning.
That's not creepy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I bring my Ouija.
Yeah.
I would bring more than that. Yeah, anyway, just.
No, it's a
I
great-
I think it's something we're gonna have to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, more
Facilities we add, the more you're gonna have.
Yeah.
I envision
More
it too.
options too,
as
whether
a-
it's the remote monitoring
Yeah.
plus somebody to answer calls.
And on top of it, you can get ahead of the next day, and that makes it even better. Coming into a mess.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was not.
Perfect.
Cool.
Thank you, appreciate
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, thank you, I appreciate it. And I do want to mention the team that I, inherited, they've been awesome from the top end. So it's just been great to work with all of them. So I wouldn't do it without them. All right.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Seth, very generous, you take the time. Since, well, we don't have control over this one, but I love that you get the comments about it.
You do not. That's all right. Mr. Goodrich, I do know the drill at this point. I'm going to make this short and sweet since it is late. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Good. So I'm
You
not, I'm
We
gonna
can't tell you
assume-
what to do anyway, so.
I know.
I'm assuming you've read what I wrote, so I'm not even gonna go through that.
Yes.
I'm gonna jump straight to numbers here on that budget, because we are talking budgets here. There are two parts to that budget. One are salaries and then where we're spending that money. Salaries remain consistent with years past. I'm sorry, I have another meeting ending one moment.
And just, well, is that, we're.
I'm sorry
We don't
about
have any
that.
control over this at all.
Why not?
It's separate.
Sorry, there was just another. All right, so salaries, usual annual increases there. No surprises there. Where we're spending the money, three parts here, I would say. Basically, the majority of where we're spending money goes to field equipment. As you know, we're a very active group. We go around town. While we take care of our equipment, it does tend to, just due to the conditions that we're in, sometimes things get damaged, so we need to have that. And then, of course, we do some things in the studio as well, props, lights, cables. And then the other part of our budget goes to subscriptions such as Zoom that we subscribe to. That pretty much sums up that budget right there. I will sidebar here real quick just to let the board know that a big focus of our department this year and next year and probably 2 years will be on renewing our cable license. As a reminder for this board, we are not taxpayer funded. All of our funding comes through a contract with through the state with Comcast, and it is a 10-year contract. We signed it in 2018, so that means it expires in 2028. And it is a lengthy renewal process. It goes from 30 to 36 months, and the reason for that is that this can include a formal process or an informal process. And that formal process includes creating a advisory committee, creating public meetings, doing public surveys, Mr. Gilmore's favorite. And the goal there really is to get feedback from the community as the importance of Scituate TV to convince Comcast to invest the max amount for Scituate television. Now, there's an informal way, which basically means, in layman's terms, we go to Comcast and we say, hey, things are good, let's continue. We are going to move forward with the informal process. Why? Because in 2018, we were very smart and we maxed out the amount that we can get from Comcast. So we're good right now. We are all set and we get everything we need. Now, this isn't to say that we won't address some issues with them, whether it is upgrading sort of our cabling equipment that's in the studio. As we know, the hearing room, it definitely needs a little upgrade with video and audio. For some residents, they have a lot of issues with that. So we will address that. But we are just at the beginning of this renewal phase. And I will certainly keep our town administrator, Jim Boudreau, up to date on how it's going so he can inform you. And then when we have a sort of agreement or close to, I'm happy to come before the board to address all that and fill you in. So that's my presentation to you.
So Seth, don't sell yourself short of this. The fourth estate may have died, but long live the fourth estate, because you are it again. And if you look at the new, what is that? Yeah, we talked about it earlier, Justin, the South Shore News as well.
Yes.
The AI using these videos that you're doing to help produce and get news finally back out to residents in print form again. It is invaluable what you do for us. And I mean that sincerely, because we've talked about this. Local media, without you, would be dead. Like, you are the critical piece for people to understand what is happening and your eyes and ears on us, all these other committees. So thank you, because it is essential, the transparency and letting people know what's happening. So
Yes.
I can't thank you enough.
I would agree with Andrew that I see how hard you work and I truly appreciate that. My only two notes would be fix that sound and bring back Scituate Weekly.
Get no time.
You gotta talk to Jim about that one. I don't think that's gonna work out so well.
One more thing, oh shit, it left my mind, sorry, I swore in TV. All right, somebody else talk.
I don't know the question, but thank you.
Seth, you did a great job. I'm pretty sure you're actually a triplet and you're all dressed the same so that you can be in so many places at once.
Yes.
I see you absolutely everywhere. Every time I've had a tech question, a support question, something that I'm trying to get the word out about, you have the answers, you have the strategy, and you've been super helpful. It's been tremendous. I probably reached out to you more than anybody else in town over the last 6 months, getting used to things around here. So you're an impossibly hard worker, and so thank you very much for that.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Jay.
I appreciate what you do, Seth. I appreciate the entire effort to make this, make the community aware of the dynamics of the town. And the more we can do that, I think the more you'll find meetings go a lot better, people understand what we're all talking about. So anything we can do to improve this room, for example, I think it's all good, and I respect what you do, and your thoroughness is, quite frankly, commendable. So thank you.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Yeah, and if we can help, I don't know, informal process, a letter or something, or you let us know whatever you may need. Happy to help out. If that's appropriate, I don't know. You tell us.
Will do. I'll keep you posted on that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Probably the only budget hearing that Nancy and I had, where we said, are you sure you don't need more help?
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't wanna bring in more people? Everybody else was like, yeah, you get help. But Seth's like, no, we're good, we keep doing it, so love it.
We got it covered. We know what we're doing.
Good deal. Excellent. All right, thank you. Now we're gonna talk about temporary.
Good evening. Since you're half an hour ahead, I suppose I can take my time.
No.
No, not on a telephone pole, you
This is for the-
can't. Getting better.
This is for the Cushing Hatherley project. This is not an easement, this is just a license so that they can do work on a temporary pole for the overhead system for the new school. I did ask them because it specifically says they're gonna be a private property, but they're just accessing the pole and they may never step foot actually on private property. But they will let the homeowner know whose land this pole is, that they're, and National Grid is gonna be working on it.
Great. You got questions, nobody?
I know right where the pole is. This is the pole the bus did. It is. And it cut the power to the whole school. This
It
is
is?
that pole.
No.
Ready?
All right, make a motion.
Move to grant a license to Mass Electric Company, National Grid, for installation of a temporary pole for an overhead system at 72 Ann Vinyl Road, private property, for New Cushing Hatherley School.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Gilmore, seconded by, who seconded?
I didn't.
Nico. And, Nico, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
That was like the first vote of the night.
Besides opening the meeting.
Besides vote, that doesn't make sense, does it? Whoever votes against
You're
that, I'd
not-
like to abstain of voting.
When are they gonna name the new school?
There's a committee, I actually do know that, there's a committee, they've got 5 names. It's schools, it's integrated with the high school and they're doing a civics project with researching it. And they're gonna recommend the name, and then they're gonna vote on the name. I think they're gonna do a lot of outreach on education, on what the name is and why they're recommending.
So they're deciding.
Recommended.
They're recommending it. To us, I believe, is it?
For the school
The
committee.
school committee, to the school committee. To the school committee,
will
the
vote
school
on the name.
committee will vote on it. I do think there'll be a lot of community education. That's. May even be a first. There's not one thing in this town named Dr. Rowan,
That's not true.
so it might be. I mean,
Communication, public outreach,
That's
new
what I-
business.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Everyone had time to go through, Jamie, you must love this.
You went through every single written response, didn't you?
So, well, I'll let everyone know.
Where is it? Is it attached in here?
No, it was
No,
a
it's
second document.
Do you know
Oh,
what,
yes, I did see that.
So,
I don't
The
think
sense
sure
of saying
what-
Here, yeah.
What's the total answer, cause I've opened these a couple of times.
It's
Is it 980?
At that time, it was like 985 or something like that.
I've opened up a bunch of different ones, but I wanna make sure I have it right.
okay.
It wasn't
I was-
updated since Friday, right?
It's not been updated
It's the
since Friday,
Friday one.
11/14.
We
Was
can,
there a lot of responses since Friday or?
This morning, I checked just a little while before I came in, and I think it was up to 1,070 or something.
So like maybe another 70 or so people.
Yeah, it is 980.
yeah, polling, I tell everyone the same thing, polling is like soup. You don't need to have the whole bowl know that it's tomato, so guarantee you. Well, no, you don't, I mean, seriously, it's not, I guarantee you, it's the numbers aren't gonna change incredibly, before we go. From here on in, the greatest value, in my opinion, is gonna be the open-ended comments from folks. You know, after a while, what we need to improve and not improve is gonna stay pretty steady. Not gonna be a big rush of people saying, yeah, whatever's the last place, it's not gonna change. But I guess I'll first, I'm just curious what people's thoughts are on some of these results. We'll, I guess, shut this off another week and then,
Whenever you want, you
Yeah.
can tell me.
So I think there's big takeaways, right?
there are big takeaways.
I think there are big takeaways with people are, for the most part, satisfied with everything from transfer station, public works, or let me say, more satisfied than not.
Yes.
On, rec department got very high satisfaction, so did, public safety, library, senior center. Yeah. Even, so I think there's some big takeaways with people are satisfied with the services they're getting. And I'm looking at this like if it's 1 to 5, I typically lump the 1 and 2s together and the 4 and 5s, and we get the high and low, right? I think the biggest opportunity for improvement is town communications and transparency, which I don't think I kind of would have guessed that going into it, because I think it's always something that communication is typically something that can always be improved. But even that didn't get horrible. I mean, even that got less than library senior center with satisfaction, but most of it was middle. You know, you got a lot more 3s and 4s than 4s and 5s. So, I mean, I think overall those are big takeaways.
Yeah.
With people seem pretty satisfied, which is, that's kind of a message to, you know, we definitely need to keep doing what we're doing, not to say we can't do more.
Yes.
But, I think that's a really big takeaway that I got.
On that note, one of the things I agree, I think that the senior center and the library both stuck out to me in the fact that they got such high marks, given that when they were first proposed and when they were being discussed and budgeted and built, there was a lot of contention about both of those projects. And you can argue where that was coming from and who it was coming from, but I think that if you ask people about whether or not they wanted those services, there was a lot of pressure when we were talking about taking out loans and paying for those projects. Now that they've been built and they're being used. And the library to me has always been a humongous success because I think there was always this assumption, well, who the heck goes to the library anymore? I have a computer, I have a phone. And the library is one of the most used buildings in the entire town, right? And keeps getting larger and larger audiences and larger usages. And the senior center obviously was strongly supported by the senior community, the current and previous senior community. But there was pushback to the budget, there was pushback to the amount of budget being allotted, the types of splits that the town was considering. And now that it's actually in process and it's being used, it's a humongous success. And you can't find somebody that is critical of the senior center and how it's being managed, how it's being run, how it's being budgeted, how it's being supported. So I think that's kudos to the town, previous town administrations and the people who supported those projects for putting together things that really do meet the expectations and exceed them. Which to me means we should keep being progressive about how we look to improve services in our town. Not necessarily withstanding budgetary outlooks as much as to keep thinking about what we can do to serve people in the town and make sure that it serves as many people as possible when we do so.
Right, that was a good point.
Yeah.
I can tell you my general takeaways and looking at, I had one surprise, and then I took all of the data on my favorite question, how to make Scituate a better place to live, what would it be?
Yeah.
And I kind of did a word cloud to see what was coming up the most. I actually put it in, not gonna lie, ChatGPT for it to count what was number 1, number 2.
Oh, please,
So,
please share.
I will send it all around when I get the latest one. So it's sidewalks feed out water. People care about sidewalks, concerned either way on housing for development growth, concerns about development. I will say I was surprised at how high supporting local business was. That came up higher than I expected. That was like a top 5. I guess I shouldn't have been surprised with sidewalks. But it really, I was shocked at how high it really was.
The survey did come out right around the time they started to publicize the public forum on sidewalks. So there
That
were,
is true.
so there might have been a slight skew, but I'm happy to hear that people are interested and we've gotten tons of feedback in the
Yeah.
process. So that's good.
And it's the,
When it comes to small businesses, I think that's really important, for a town that talks a lot about, supporting our small businesses, for the talk that we have about, the different ways that we try to engage with small businesses, whether it be the new events for the harbor masters this summer, or whether it be traditional events that we put on as a town, you know, with the help of the chamber, et cetera. But I think the EDC, you know, is gonna be coming before us in a month, and we have some debate about their budget going forward. But there aren't a lot of places in which we put our town budget directly into trying to build up our small business community, but we talk an awful lot about trying to diversify our tax base. So that there's a balance there that I really wanna have longer discussion.
and there was, you know, housing affordability was in there.
Yeah, well, make it affordable, and housing affordability was in the comments too. And every other comment was, we need this, and whatever this is, costs more money. Whether we need this, fill in the blank, could be anything from sidewalks to, public restrooms in the harbor, every single thing that we need, X costs dollars. So there was definitely a like. Or I found that too, that was another observation, I'll let Jamie speak to his observation.
My observation is you had 980 participants in a limited survey. I do appreciate all the individual comments, a lot of them are very repetitive or alluding to the same subject about lower our taxes, keep the cost of housing down, make all the facilities the best in the world, but then lower our taxes. So I find it confusing and confounding and misleading, and it really doesn't do the business of the town. It's humorous. I get more when I'm talking to an individual about a specific subject than open-ended, what do you think of this kind of questions? That's all.
Perfectly legitimate, totally get it. I'll just say one thing I kind of got here, and maybe you could think about it this way a little bit. These are most of these are issues that we can address.
We're working on.
Or we're working on
Or, yeah.
quite a few
seem
of
to
them
be
already.
exactly.
That's a good thing.
We seem to be doing something along the lines of.
I agree with
Right, we're on the right path. We're not going on, which is, that's good to know. Yeah, that's all.
If you need something like this to tell you that you're doing the right thing, then I think we are. I think the town, our departments, let's not leave them out. They're in our town administrator, all of them. I think this is kind of a synopsis of everything we're working on, basically, and trying, because you can't lower taxes and build a new school. It's just, there's those trade-offs and challenges. We need to move the town forward to the best running facilities, the best technology, the most efficient spending, all those great business practices that we should aspire to do.
Yeah.
It's nice to see some people have some remarks. It's just.
I think in general, when you're trying to achieve a balance, it's really not terribly eye-popping. Running the middle of the road is not supposed to be super exciting, it's supposed to be effective.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Provide services, don't go nuts, try to save people money where you can without making dumb decisions. I think that's what we strive to do. It sounds like this is helping show that we are on track for the most part, and we shouldn't get full of ourselves and keep working.
Yeah, not to get distracted, let's keep our nose to the grindstone and keep addressing, so as you said, we're working on a lot of these, so let's try to keep, make sure we're doing.
Considering that we all have full-time jobs and do other things, I think it's a really big, if it's a compliment to anything, it's a compliment to the staff. Jim, to Nancy, to
Yes.
the
Yes.
100 people in this building that are working every day when I'm doing my own thing and trying to support my single family. That are doing what they can because there's way too much for any of us to do up here, other than a couple hours here and there.
So I really enjoyed reading all of the comments. I thought it was awesome that people actually took the time to write how they were feeling. You know, yes, we don't know who it was, we don't know if they were young, we don't know where they were old, we don't know if it was, you know, eighth of every household responded. We have no idea who responded, but I do appreciate the responses, and I was actually pretty surprised that there weren't, you know, again, depending on who was answering, like, there wasn't really anything in there that stood out to me as being like, oh my God, I can't believe people are, you know, worried about that. And I think, you know, I saw the zoning thing over and over again, stop building, you know, in every available inch of a parcel of land. And, you know, I do know the planning board is working on, you know, some zoning changes coming up to the April town meeting, so maybe that'll make a difference. But it was, you know, surprising to me that there, you know, if this same survey had been done 20 years ago, in my opinion, there'd be a lot more complaints about drugs. And I didn't see that once. And that was a really, great surprise to me.
I also see there's a lot of political remarks in here too.
Well, yeah, you can open it up, but it's.
But again, this is, when you ask open-ended questions and ask for values, you're gonna get a certain amount of political influence comments.
And I'd love to see the chat GPT turning.
Yeah, it comes all
into,
there,
like,
word cloud, yeah, I'll, because I have this older one that I downloaded, that's why I did it. So, alright, so we'll, guess we can stop the survey, tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we've got.
We'll together, so.
Response rates.
Okay, great. Alright, and, we can get them up online, so see. Liaison report.
Or you're gonna put you're not thinking papers online. Just the, right.
The whole thing.
You know, the whole thing.
Alright.
Yeah. Public record.
Yeah.
Great, who's got some liaison reports? Yes.
I have CPC from last Monday.
Excellent.
The basketball courts restoration project was unanimously voted. So I'm sure that's gonna come before us and go forward. The NFS fitness court, the CPC did not think it was prepared, and the location was not agreeable to them, and I just think that it needs to come around a couple more times, and maybe there's a little bit more thought about where it should be placed.
What is
I think the location is a big.
It's a flat exercise concept with proper drainage, and some of it has some built-in equipment, but Rec had decided they wanted it over by the senior center in the front lawn there.
Right next to Cutler.
And
Pretty much where the
in that
veterans
front
sit.
yard footprint, and there's just not enough, historical hadn't been talked to, blah, blah, blah. So there's just not enough go-to yet, so
Kind of like
they did not vote for it, they
tabled
actually,
it.
they tabled it.
And it's like an outdoor fitness, they were thinking about a senior
They can't
center.
put that by where Splinterville is? They can't just.
They decided that the
Wow.
school doesn't want to eliminate Splinterville. So that also put my little pet peeve project, that I was thinking about on hold.
Yeah, I wonder if they could give us.
But it's tabled for now, and it was been sent back to rec to come back around with some better options, and better details.
I also think they made a really good decision on that, and I also think that, and then, you know, you're going through a bunch of stuff at Old Gates too, like, now's not the time to put something brand new and shiny there, when you're thinking about doing a mass construction project.
It was also, we were also advised that night that that this is a for-profit company that's offered this grant. And really all it is a discount off the price of the product. And it's not a nonprofit or a state-funded thing. It's a for-profit company, and they call us every year apparently. So this could come around. The concept is good. Concept is good.
There's other, I mean, you know, we have Pier 44 coming together, you know, there's space over there, there's the old Gates property is gonna get redeveloped, reconfigured, there's possibility, it's just not the right time.
Right, I don't think it'll ever be at Pier 44 because that's already in plan, already done, and we're gonna phase into that. But there are other places to locate this. There was even an astute question, what if we only build a half set? This is 30 feet by 70 feet. What if we only build 30 feet by 35 feet? What's that cost implication? Instead of $425,000, what if we only build half? You know,
Yeah.
and is that easier to locate? I really like the idea from rec that if it could be located near the rec department and the senior center, it would get more use. Because it's that kind of workout kind of area. But, you know, do we build it smaller? Do we put it on the other side of the building? Let them come back around and present.
And I hope it comes back, but it's not the right space.
Where they had proposed it, I agree. So that's that. I was supposed to go to Sister City last night. Thank you for going. If you wanted to chime in and advise everybody what you learned last night, that would be great, because I could not make that.
I actually made it to the Heritage Trail, I didn't make it to the end, I made it only to the beginning, because I had 4 meetings last night. So,
All right, fine.
but
I'll read the notes and I'll report on it next meeting. Not a problem. It was good. It was very productive.
Yeah.
They're gonna do a survey. I saw that.
We were excited
Yeah,
about that.
Yeah,
I
the
read
date
it
is
this morning.
today.
You're gonna do a survey. That's fine. Okay.
I think that's
But it's related to the kids and the parents, so
that's
that's.
the main thing that I want to try and connect the dots on is that I think all 4 of our sister city / cultural efforts should probably be talking a little bit more to each other. To make sure that we have sort of a townwide thought process on what the values are, where we're trying to go with all of them, when we talk about cultural connection.
Yeah.
But
I think what you'll see is.
they're all valuable in their own stead right now.
What you'll see is they were added one at a time, so you've got some very young committees, and then you've got some that have been going and they're set in their ways, and to cross pollinate these, which is the right idea, is gonna take a little time.
Yeah.
This idea that right now I saw in the notes today, they're talking about an international food event where we have sister city from Soucy Brie, we have the Irish, and we have the
Cape Verde.
Cape Verde, all under one tent, and then blend it all up and have a great big international food festival. Those kind of things are great.
And Spanish.
Okay, so I love that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good ideas coming in. The more we can get them to talk to each other, I agree. Good.
What else?
I have
Liaised.
well, we have,
Oh, sorry.
you can,
Go ahead.
go ahead, continue. I've had, a bunch on the same day, so, there is, Santa Catarina Day, it is November 22nd, that's at Untold from 1 to 4, so that is an update. I missed the beach because of Waterways. Waterways had an intense discussion on rates, and they will be meeting one more time December 3rd, and then they will be kind of aligned with the annual, we need to look at rates, and they send us a letter to tell us some advice, which is what we asked them for some policy advice on rates in any like neighboring towns. So that is coming together. And the only other thing is I did meet with someone from when we talked about having the chairs meeting of all the committees. I did happen to meet with a woman from Hingham Select Board who did that in Hingham, and they thought it was awesome. And they are continuing to do it. They had an in-person meeting of all the chairs.
So all 41 their.
I don't know how many they
High
had.
school.
Yeah, they had, so she sent me all the information that, she did, how she organized it and whatnot, so I have all the information.
Cool.
So I happened to be meeting, no, I happened to know her and knew that she was the one that organized, so I did meet with her on that.
You'd have it in the Performing Arts Center.
Dude, that sounds like a good idea, Jamie. It sounds like a survey of chairs to me.
Yeah.
No, it's
I'm
that
kidding.
cross-pollination, colonization thing,
Well-
everybody talking to each other.
I'm giving you a hard time. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Well, I think it was really important because she was very structured. The board, you know, she told them it was gonna be an update on the goals and a very brief update from each committee, and the goal was to improve communication and information sharing. As
So
well
overall,
as-
even though we were sort of curious about the size of that kind of meeting, she thought it was a productive and useful.
She did, but she also said it had to be managed with like, she was very clear that you
She
had
had
2
to have
minutes,
a buzzer.
not like, yes.
Yeah, the yellow light and the
And
red
she
light.
thought
white light.
it definitely, she actually told me a story that the town administrator was not wild about doing it, and then after the
We
meeting.
know how town administrators
You know how town administrators are,
I
new
do.
things sometimes, and after the meeting, the town administrator, it was amazing, I said, well, why didn't we do this earlier, I'm so glad we did it, so they're doing it multiple times a year. So I do think it's something we can want to tackle.
I love it. I guess.
I know, we talked about it,
I think we definitely need a yellow card and a red card.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Jamie, Jamie.
Oh, did they
have
Like there
anyone?
might be a.
I bet it is.
Oh, did you guys?
Easier way to- did I liaise, the Veterans Day, celebration was great, there was over 100 veterans in attendance. The VFW did a fundraiser for the veterans as well this past weekend. I am having a hard time because I feel like all of my boards and committees meet on either Tuesdays or
That's right.
Thursdays.
Oh, tell
So
me
it's
about it.
very
Oh.
difficult to.
You can't be everywhere.
Five
You can't,
places at once. And they have to understand I have to be sitting at this desk and not their
Right.
meetings. I don't think I've got, planning board this coming weekend, they approved 801 Country Way, last week. And then they've got a meeting this week again. Historic was this week, I missed council on aging last week as well. That's it.
I made it to the end of the veterans, I didn't make it for the ceremonies, but I made it to the luncheon, I thought it was very well attended, I think that, well, Lyndon wasn't charged of it, but, the Warriors did a great job, and I was very happy with how we put together. I was thrilled to see so many people, the hockey team did a great job.
Yeah.
Helping out with the event, cleaning and everything. We had the sidewalk subcommittee for EDC public forum, which I think actually came off even better than I hoped it could, honestly. We had about 20 people in there in person, in addition to the committee, we had about 7 or 8 people online. A lot of really positive feedback, and then since then, we've gotten about 72 additional online comments, so I was quite surprised at how good a job the committee did getting the word out. I thought we were really pushing our envelope on the timing, but we seem to have gotten a lot of good feedback, we got some interesting feedback that was in addition to what we were already expecting, so that's good, and it was useful. And we are moving into, we'll be taking public comments until December 1st. And then we'll be moving into sort of the decision process of prioritization, building recommendations for the board. And I think it's going very smoothly so far, so that's good. And it's really great to see that does.
That's great, right? Like, you go through those comments.
The survey that Jamie orchestrated for us.
Yes.
And so I think that the public will be pretty optimistic and encouraging about the types of plans that the committee's trying to get. So that was really encouraging to see. I actually have a couple more, but I'm gonna save it for 2 weeks.
Can I ask on the sidewalk, does that include crosswalks too?
So,
I'm
The
just
way that I
curious
would
because
answer that-
somebody asked me, they're
Yeah,
like,
sure.
we need a crosswalk here, we need a crosswalk here.
yeah, so the way, I would answer that in two ways. I think that a new crosswalk or depending on where it is, a new crosswalk from existing sidewalk or an improved or repainted or touched up sidewalk,
Okay.
that would actually fall under the repair budget that we've discussed. So it wouldn't really be considered new construction, it would be
Adding a
considered.
new
Well, it's
crosswalk?
also a lot cheaper.
But if it's going from existing sidewalk to existing sidewalk, it's probably just considered an addition to existing
Oh, okay.
sidewalk.
Oh, yeah.
So unless you're talking about a new crosswalk that's gonna require
A
a
new-
new sidewalk, that would be a new. So if we're looking at new sidewalk projects, which we
Yeah.
have, whatever, 23 at this point, there are gonna obviously be crosswalks in some of those projects.
Yeah.
That would be new, right? But if you have an existing two pieces of sidewalk and you're hoping.
Like Front
to put a
Street, adding
crosswalk,
one on Front Street.
Yeah.
then there, it's just a painting project, that's probably gonna fall under the DPW's sort of repair item that we're talking about.
Right,
Unless
okay.
it's gonna require lots of engineering or conservation thought process.
Mhm.
So that probably is one way to answer your question.
Yeah, no,
The other way I would simply answer it is, if people are interested in that sort of thing, absolutely 100%, they should
I told
reach
people
out
to
to
reach
the
out.
subcommittee, if they haven't already, so that we can add it to the thought process of what we're looking. The last thing on that is that in addition to that, in tandem with the bike committee, sidewalk subcommittee and EDC, there's an effort to discuss with DPW and engineering right now to talk about our GIS maps and whether we can overlay sidewalks existing currently into the existing GIS layers. So they're working on that with Sean. Kathy talking about it. That's it.
Oh, you.
Library, I don't do this off, so I'm gonna say something nice about the state legislature passed, library committee sent out things on this. Two great pieces of legislation, but the biggest one, I think, is this ebook commission that the state is doing. They just passed it 2 days ago, 3 days ago. So if you remember, the cost for all these ebooks for our library are becoming astronomical.
Yeah, they're high.
And so there's this whole commission to do it statewide and lower the cost and to put pressure on the publishers to make sure that they're not gouging why is one library being cost more than the other, like that's ridiculous. So that's big, then there's to ban book bans, which legislature also took up. And then, just so people know, speaking of the bike committee, but the bike repair stations, they're fully functional, so you can use them, pick where to get the bike.
They're awesome. The
This
one in North
weekend.
Situate, though.
Yeah.
It's like a little thank you and like pull down, you put your bike on.
Yeah, that's all you need.
It's awesome. And it's
game
every
changer.
tool you could possibly need on a thing that.
Great idea.
Awesome.
Do it before it snows.
Yeah.
I have 3 tidbits of correspondence. First is our grant report card from Scituate, January 2025 through December 31st, 2025. Total present day of grants for the town, $5,743,366.22.
Excellent.
And it jumped substantially with the
That
5
5
million one.
Yeah.
So that's not including the
No,
five,
it
does,
it
it does.
includes the 500.
so it's 5,700,000.
Yes.
Yes, 700.
Now we're 5 million.
Quite significant. So next is the announcement from the Scituate Chamber, the annual meeting and holiday gathering we've been invited to. Let's celebrate Tuesday, December 2nd, 5 to 8 p.m. at Oro.
Is it a soiree or
Light, it's a
soiree?
It's like a soiree, yeah. Light apps, cash bar, live music from Brian.
We need to go
Roche.
We need to go early and.
Yeah, no, it's starting at 5.
Info at situatechamber.org, RSVP for the annual meeting. And then we have one piece of correspondence, and this was an interesting one from 2 residents, Joan Wyckoff at 154 Turner Road and Della Shepherd at 70 Scituate Avenue. As residents of Scituate, co-founders of the environmental group Scituate Salt Marsh Stewardship Initiative. The Concom meets completely virtually. The commission chairman and town conservation agent preside from town hall. Everyone else, other than commission members and the public, attend online. No, everyone else, other commission members and the public attend online. No in-person attendance is allowed. It appears this board is the only one in town that conducts its meetings this way. We're concerned about the adverse effect this meeting style has on public participation. Virtual meetings have poor sound quality, and information presented on a shared screen is hard to decipher. For the board's information, there was a Concom hearing on December 1 having to do with a building project in the Sandhill Salt Marsh. Many of the citizens in our neighborhood, as well as supporters of the preservation of Sandhill Salt Marsh and other town marshes, would like to attend that hearing both online and in person. You may recall that 500 people signed a petition in May 2024 in opposition of the building project on Turner Road. We presented these petitions to the ZBA and other town officials. The Concom hearing December 1 will consider the same project, which involves the detail here of construction. The construction, we think that the people deserve the opportunity for unfettered access to that meeting. So I think that's kind of important. We should make sure we can open that meeting up if there's that kind of, those kind of response. I didn't know that we could, if you're having a meeting here, why wouldn't you let people come to your meeting? Why does it just have to be online?
They're just completely virtual, that was their choice. I think they're in the next meeting, the budget, or they already been,
No, they'll be on the,
I think there's another committee.
So,
The
I'm
Board
not
of
gonna
Health only meets virtually.
Yeah.
that'd be a good time to have that discussion with them, but I've met with these ladies multiple times.
Yeah.
They just don't like this project, and I told them conservation was
Well,
gonna
that's why I
follow the law.
left the details of this project out, because I don't think that's, I'm not trying to make that the issue in this correspondence. The fact that if you're gonna have two people on a Zoom in a public building, why other people can't be in the same room while they're having that meeting?
Well, again, I don't wanna spend a lot of time on it, but I had conversations with them. If everybody's virtual, they're all on the same footing. Some people in the room and some people are virtual, it changes the dynamics. Then you have to worry about, what if there's too many people, they can't all get in the room, now you have to cancel the meeting, so there's pluses and minuses to it. You can decide whether or not, but you have to talk to that person, I know they're talking about it anyways.
All right, all right. Yep, that works for me. That's all I have for fun.
Sure. Motion for approval of meeting minutes?
What was the date?
I have one note, I've just been staring at it for 5 minutes. There's a spelling error. It says the B board agreed that the survey would be distributed instead of presumably the select board or the board.
Motion to accept the October 28th minutes as written and submitted.
Revised.
And revised. And revised.
Second.
Revised. Moved by Mr. Gilmore, seconded by Mr. Wiggles, all in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
By Ms.
For
Harrison,
documents.
seconded by. Second. Freya. All in favor, approved.
Aye.
Unanimous.